Radhika, we're seeing a dramatic shift from the last general election in 2019. Take us through the top takeaways at the moment.
The top takeaway is that it seems that the Labour Party is ready almost to sort of win this election with an unprecedented majority. And it could potentially be the worst defeat for the Conservatives since they were formed in 1906. And at the moment, it seems that over 136 seats have been declared. Sir Keir Starmer, of course, just a mile away from where I am at the British Parliament, has won and has also shared his victory speech, his first of the many that are likely to come in a few hours from now. And of course, the Lib Dems doing very well, coming third, but a close third to the Conservatives, who are currently in the second position. While there are about 36 fully declared seats, there are 26 won by the Lib Dem, and that gap is just getting narrower and narrower, also indicating that the earlier exit poll had indicated that the Lib Dems could well occupy the second position as the main opposition party. So it will be interesting to see closer to about 7 o'clock local time, and it is about 4 o'clock local time in the UK. So about 3 hours from now, we will know who is going to be in the opposition, who's coming close to the second. But my first reading is what a divided Britain this is looking like. There is the Labour Party, which has surged with its popularity, as indicated by our respected panelist, who was talking about the shift in the Labour Party stance post Jeremy Corbyn's era, where Sir Keir Starmer has constantly held on to this narrative of going away from the extreme left ideology and positioning the Labour Party as the centre, which perhaps has worked for them, as have many other factors, including this huge anti-incumbency, the Conservative Party really gifting to the Labour and landing on its lap a lot of scandals which have gone in favour for the Labour Party, alongside the anti-incumbency and the extreme crisis of economy that the UK is in, with Britain's capital really crippling. 1 in 4 children here are hungry and sleeping hungry tonight. And that's one of the wealthiest nations' capitals we are talking about. And many during winters are having to choose between heating and eating. And this is all going towards the ailing economy, which Rishi Sunak came over or took over to try and fix, but not clearly. That wasn't clearly the case. And they are, of course, the Labour Party is, of course, inheriting a huge sense of woes from Britain that they have promised or vowed to sort of fix, with the economy being the first. But what's likely to happen in the next couple of hours, maybe 3 hours? We will know once the full results are declared.
Yes.
And it's looking quite likely that the Labour Party is going to form the next government. Rishi Sunak will formally resign. The King then will invite Sir Keir Starmer to form the next government, and that officially will mean that Sir Keir Starmer and his wife Victoria will make their way to number 10, just across the road from where I'm standing, and of course then form his government, and potentially he has his cabinet ready in place. But it will be very interesting to see who comes in the second position, who will be the main opposition party, whether it will be the Lib Dems, which means Britain is going quite the centre-left way. But you see an increase in votes or the setup of accounts that Reform UK is doing, which is still indicating a presence of right-wing supporters, with the Conservative Party not doing as badly as polls mentioned in Britain. Yes, a huge surprise, and an indication that voters in Britain are quite divided. Centre left is what it's likely to be leaning towards in this next few years, or the new era in British politics, as we can call it, after 15 years of Tory rule, which brought in Brexit.